What's up, guys? I'm Anna.
I'm Christina, and welcome to The Sample Effect.
This is going to be a collection of stories that explore the people, places, and things that make our culture what it is. We'll also discuss the challenges of being original in a time full of creatives.
Through this series, we'll be sitting down with some dope people who give us insight on their creative journeys, as well as mini tutorials on how they do what they do. So in today's episode, we have Natalya Amres, also known as Remixed By Tal on Instagram. She currently hones her title as a cut and sew specialist, working with various clients and brands. So Natalya, welcome to The Sample Effect.
Thank you guys so much. Thanks for having me.
So Natalya, for our viewers who are not yet familiar with your work, take us through who you are and what you've done in the last couple months.
I've been sewing for about 6 years. I've only recently started remixing things for social media this year. Before it was kind of just like personal projects, things like that. And I would just kind of like do a lot of vintage shopping, do a lot of reworking for myself to kind of fit things to my size. And then only this March I started kind of posting things for the public on social media. And so I would post the process of how things were made, and I was putting them up for sale in March, and they were selling like pretty quickly. And so from then I continued like that process for about 3 months. And now I'm kind of doing a lot of more custom work. So a lot of like collaborations, creative customizations for different brands and artists and such.
Well, with the rapid success of your sales on social, you recently just capped a secret project that's no longer a secret with the Migos. So how did that come about? Who approached you? What happened? What was your reaction? Tell us everything.
Okay, so I had been asked by a friend, a pretty close friend of mine. Her name's Kennedy Road, Megan, and she is a local Toronto artist, and she asked me to remix an outfit for her to wear to her show. I was like, of course, and a couple brands had sent her some pieces. I remixed an outfit for her. She wore it to the show. I got really great feedback from it that day, but nothing really actually happened until like 5 months later. And then the Jordan brand hit me up based on that person seeing the outfit on her. Then I started doing like a few collabs with Jordan. And then that kind of led into the Kappa contact. I got introduced to someone from Kappa. And then Kappa was actually given the opportunity to create these custom pieces for Migos for their tour. So he, now that he's been introduced to me, thought of me first, thankfully. And so he commissioned the project to me. So very, very lucky.
And the tour was with Drake.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yeah, which is like bonus.
Toronto gang.
So what has life been like since that happened? So I'm sure you've gone through a lot. You said you only started in March and your success has been growing very rapidly. What is life like now?
It's very busy. And I feel like I say this every day and I don't want to just like oversay it, but it's like, and there's no excuse to say that you're way too busy to do things, but it's just come to the point where like I work like 2 other jobs currently, and then I do this like pretty much full time. So it's like even if you're like on your phone, you're still technically working. You're technically sending emails 24/7, no matter, even if you're at work, you're still working on your other job. So it's been like quite hectic, but it's like not even like a complaint in that sense where it's like, I would definitely rather this than anything else. But the difference between now and then is I can kind of see this very natural growth into a place where I really feel like I can see myself in the future. Whereas before, I didn't really have much of an idea, you know? So it kind of took that jump start to like make that happen for me.
And where do you see yourself in the future?
Honestly, I don't want to say that I don't know, but I really honestly don't know. Because before this March, I didn't know. And it's like I was kind of taking a little bit of a different direction before, but now it's like as these opportunities are popping up, it's pushing me into a specific direction. But it's like, I honestly have this like personal theory with myself is that if I say that this is exactly what I want to do in the future, and I start like moving this way, then I'm missing all the opportunities like on the other side. So I don't really tell myself like this is exactly where I want to be because I feel like it just like, you know.
Set on the present.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So you used to have a jewelry line. At what point did you know that it was time to end that and make the transition into something else? How did you know it was time to quit that?
So I've been doing the jewelry thing for a few years, and it had a similar beginning actually to this in the sense where like I started posting things and people were buying. the people were buying off of Facebook. So like, it was like in the Facebook era, and like it caught wind and like things started moving, and like I didn't know how to properly handle myself in terms of like that growth. So I made like a lot of the wrong decisions. I stayed stagnant for years. I didn't know exactly what I was doing wrong or what I was doing right. And I didn't take enough time to like really dive into like those questions. Only recently kind of like started giving up that idea that this was gonna be something. And I was like, stop trying to make this something. Like, you need to probably focus your attention somewhere else. Who knows where it's gonna be, but that's what, I made that decision like right before this whole thing happened. So like February is when I was like, Natalya, just focus your energy somewhere else.
Your field is pretty niche. What are the challenges that you were facing or have overcome as well?
Obviously, like just starting any brand new business, there's always gonna be competition. There's always gonna be people running with an idea that you might have put out that you felt like this was the thing that's gonna make it for me. Like, that can happen to anyone. And it's like, in this case, the way that I think about it is, at the beginning, I was only looking at competition. So I was only being like, okay, how can I be different from all of these other reworked brands? And I thought that that's what I was doing, but it wasn't different enough. And you really have to like stay ahead of yourself. It might have been different, but like other people were starting to kind of see the growth and see an opportunity in certain situations, kind of like do similar things to what I was doing. And it's like, not like I'm trying to claim reworking in any sense of the form, because people have been doing this for years. There were specific things that I was like, okay, this is like the way that I do things. And it's like, when other people kind of pop up and do like almost identical things, it hurts a little bit, you know? I'm trying to be more personal with like my creation. So I'm trying to make things specifically for specific people, for specific events, shows, things like that. So it's getting into more of like a service aspect rather than like a retail store. So I don't know of anyone currently that's doing exactly that. So I'm trying to hold on to that.
How do you maintain a mindset to keep going when you see something like that? Because I know that for some people that could be a confidence killer.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely like, it can definitely turn out to be a negative thing, but no matter what it is, like, it's always something that will always make me push way harder because of the paranoia. Because there's always gonna be paranoia, like, even just not with just like people that copy, but also like the other brands that are way bigger than you, that, you know, can take that idea and just like produce millions of them, you know what I mean, that you can't do like with your singular hands. So it's like, that stuff, like, it's always the fear and the paranoia that stuff can just crush you, that makes you work harder at it every single day.
Well, is there anything that you're currently working on that you can tell us about or tease out?
Yeah, so I currently, just because my like website has been very blank for a while, like, so I haven't had anything in stock for months now, and like the most common question that I always get is, when are you going to restock? How can I buy this? Do you still have this in stock? Can I get a custom order? So like, I'm answering those questions like every day now, and I want to be able to have something that I can give to people. So I'm working on creating something that I can produce multiples of, that I could have on my website for now, and then in the meantime, I can still work on all this custom stuff. Once that stuff takes off, like, then I can have like a nice balance between both things, basically. So that's my current project.
Current goal.
Yes, exactly.
2019 to be major.
Yes.
So Anna and I gave you a challenge. We gave you a few pieces from the Nike Fall Winter 18 collection, and we asked you to remix it in your signature style. So can you explain what you did and the process behind it?
So first of all, through everything that you guys gave me, I picked out the one that was gold and silver. It was most outstanding to me, and because I've been doing kind of like more stage wear lately, it kind of like was getting my creative juices flowing. And the next thing that I wanted to do was try to like do a vest of some sort. So I just found that piece was like the perfect piece for that style. I'm going to show you guys a little bit about how the cut and sew process works in the most basic format.
Tal, thank you so much for joining us on the Sample Effect.
Thank you, ladies, so much for having me.
Thank you guys as well for tuning in. If you guys learned a thing or two from Tal, make sure you comment below. Show us what you worked on. Show us what you've reworked. We want to see it all. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Comment, like, and subscribe.